So I'm taking a moment because I'm sitting in the metro right now area of San Juan. I'm sitting in a hotel actually because I've been doing a lot with respect to going through the island and just kind of checking in. So I'm checking in right now with, I guess, the people of Puerto Rico and San Juan, and I'm realizing a lot of stuff right now. Reporting to you guys from Puerto Rico right now, and what can I say? It's been a journey. I'm recording myself. I've been recording a lot of footage, but it doesn't seem like a lot of people want to report on what the reality is of what's happening here in Puerto Rico. So what I'm going to ask you to do right now is share this video. I made it public so you guys can share because I want to make sure you guys know what's happening here in Puerto Rico. Number one, I'm here right now as a civilian. I'm not on military orders. I'm here on my own account right now. I'm sitting myself as a civilian right now, so I want to make sure everyone knows that. Number two, the reason I'm doing this is because right now in the heart of San Juan, Puerto Rico, in the metro area, in the capital, what's happening right now is I'm in a hotel before we fly out tomorrow, and I want you guys to know something. I'm really frustrated. I'm really angry right now, and I have to say this, and I say this with the most emotion that I have in my heart today, and I wasn't going to post anything, but I had to put something live because of the fact that I'm sitting here right now in a hotel in the heart of San Juan where FEMA, where the Corps of Engineers are, where government employees are right now, sitting in a hotel with electricity, with Wi-Fi, and alcohol, hot meals, and everything else. Now you would think when there is a state of disaster that the government would work around the clock to make sure that the relief efforts of the people of Puerto Rico needed are happening on a consistent basis. But I'm going to flip this camera around, and I want you to see just one of the many hotels that are out here right now holding all these people, government, FEMA, and all these other people that are sitting here having drinks, not doing anything with respect to the relief efforts. And I wanted to bring this reality to you guys because I'm not sure what's being reported back in the States, but I went to over 32 towns here in Puerto Rico of the 78 that exist. And in 6 days of those 32 towns, zero relief efforts has made it out to the people of Puerto Rico. I circled the island twice, went to the center twice, and I've gotten zero outcomes with respect to what has come. No military personnel, no government personnel, no FEMA personnel have gone out to any of the 32 places. So I'm going to live stream this. And this right now is from the second floor. And if it's dark, I'm sorry, but this is the second floor. If you look at the table, all that's alcohol, a ton of alcohol. Everybody's drinking right now. A ton of drinking. A ton of people just sitting around doing nothing, getting paid with our wonderful tax dollars. There's the bar. Look how crowded the bar is right now. And everyone is in there. These are tax-paying dollars, while I have to sit here and watch people who are suffering throughout the entire island. Everybody in that space right there, these are all military and government personnel. And the reason I know that is because when we were getting checked in, they said only military, government, FEMA personnel were allowed to come here. So look, if you guys look, everybody in here, all these wonderful people are just drinking, hanging out. No relief efforts. There's no round clock here. Nothing here is what the media is reporting. For a fact, I can tell you guys this. I'm going to go downstairs right to where the bar area is. I'll ask every single person in here. I'm happy to ask them, who are you guys with? Are you with FEMA? Are you with the military? Are you with the emergency operations unit? Not a single person will tell you that they're out there doing work, and they won't, because they're sitting where there's hot meals, where there's Wi-Fi, where there's alcohol, and they're all sitting here right now enjoying the wonderful luxuries in the capital of San Juan, where most of the areas already happened. Let me tell you something. The government has failed Americans. The government has not done anything with respect to the relief efforts in the heart of Puerto Rico. We traveled this entire island twice getting to people that needed relief, and not a single person has reported that any relief efforts has got to them. It's been 2 weeks. These are American people, and not a single person has gotten to them. Instead, if you look behind me, everybody's sitting at a bar or in the casino, or they're sitting there drinking instead of sitting there working around the clock. There are people who are still missing. They won't report that. They're not reporting all the bodies and all the people who have died. A lot of people have died in Puerto Rico, and they won't report that because they don't want anyone at all to get affected by it. The fact of the matter is that it's not happening. FEMA's here. The Emergency Operations Center is here. The military's here. The efforts are here. The generators are here. The water is here. The food is here. The money has come in. But yet they sit here instead of actually going out there to do all the things they're supposed to be doing. 32 towns in Puerto Rico visited in 6 days, and not one person said that there was relief efforts made. There's no running water. There's no drinkable water. There's no food. People are standing in lines for hours just to get a $100 limit. First of all, they're not even supposed to be taking their own money out for food. It was declared a disaster zone. It became a federal emergency. That means that it is our duty as Americans to help fellow Americans out and bring them out of disaster zones. But instead, I'm going to turn the freaking camera around again so you guys could see what the hell is actually happening and why the people of Puerto Rico have not been helped yet. That's a bar. Half those people there are either military, government, or FEMA. They're all drinking. All the people down below, they're all drinking. All those people there, all those people over here, the tables are full. Everybody's just drinking. It happens to be free cocktails in San Juan over here where they're doing. All these people walking in there, you see all those people in black suits? Those people there, yep, those are FEMA personnel with corporate jets. Nobody's working around the clock here. Everybody's just drinking right now. And that's the truth. That's the truth. I'm not going to lie to you guys. In San Juan, you get here and it looks great. People, there's power in all the hotels and everything else. It doesn't look like they skipped a beat. But the fact of the matter is, step outside of San Juan. Go to the next barrio. Go to Piñones, next door where the kioscos don't exist anymore. Go next door to Toa Baja, where the houses were 6 feet under, and maybe the houses are dry right now, but the reality is that those houses, even though they were 6 feet under, they lost everything. They have no drinking water. They have no food. They were given a box that didn't even last them 2 days with a family of 4. Okay, there's no help. There's no, I don't know what the heck FEMA. I actually met with a Sergeant Smith. He happens to be part of the Emergency Operations Center that's stationed here in Puerto Rico. Their job is to get all the people together on the same page so that the help gets to the people. He had no idea that he was talking to someone that knows all about emergency operations and everything else when it comes to the relief efforts. And the sad part is that he says they all can't just get it together. It's not hard. In about 10 minutes, I was able to figure out how to get support to every single of the 78 towns in Puerto Rico. I have no idea what the government's doing, but I do know where all the help is for the Puerto Ricans right now. And at least one of the 20 big hotels here that are operating with hot meals, drinks, alcohol, and everything else. The reality is that there's people, hundreds of bodies, and people who are still missing in this Hurricane Maria disaster. They won't report that, and they're not going to report that because of the simple fact that they don't want to alarm the American people. What's the news flash? The people of Puerto Rico are American. That's not new. I don't have the slightest clue why anyone would think that's not even possible. I don't care if there is a body of water in between us. You don't have enough trucks, fly them over on a C-17. We have the capability to do it. You don't have enough personnel to drive the trucks? The military has trained personnel that can drive the trucks. FEMA works on a volunteer basis. You people have no idea how much the people are suffering right now when it comes to Puerto Rico. The people are suffering. 32 cities in 6 days, and not a single ounce of support went. And I'm actually going to go downstairs because I don't know if you can actually see what's happening here, but I am going to go downstairs. I want you guys to see what's actually happening here in the heart of San Juan, Puerto Rico. The hotels are running up and running. There's drinking and everything else. And the reality is that it's not happening. It really isn't happening. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what the people here are doing instead of helping the people of Puerto Rico. Yep. That's what everybody's doing right now. They're drinking. They're playing poker. That's the reality of what they're doing right now. 32 towns in 6 days trying to make sure we can reach some of the families of the people who are trying to get information out to me, and not one relief effort. It's been almost 2 weeks, and the American people of Puerto Rico, and I will say this and I will say it 1,000 times, America, USA, you have failed. You have failed at 110% to the American people of Puerto Rico. Not one military truck, not one FEMA truck, not one anything made it out to any of the towns that I went to in 6 days. And they think that it's not going to get reported. Fox News, let me tell you something, Fox News. I met with you face to face. I asked you why you haven't gone to the south. I asked you why you haven't gone to the center of the island where all the mudslides have happened, where the people are trapped underneath vehicles and mudslides that have not had a chance to get out yet. Tell me why Fox News, Mr. Jimenez, that's your name, from Los Angeles, Fox News. I'll make sure to tag you in this. You reported that you want to stay to the metro area because you don't have satellite signal. And you want to instead report from a little puddle of water, right? A little puddle of water is where you want to report from to make it seem like it's bigger than nothing. Newsflash. If you were a real journalist, Fox News, you would have simply left the satellite, recorded the information, and driven back to an area and reported on it later. You have failed the American people of Puerto Rico. Fox News, you have failed everyone. USA, you have failed the American people of Puerto Rico. Everyone with respect to government, FEMA, the Joint Operations Center, the American Corps of Engineers, you have all failed the American people of Puerto Rico. And I can speak on it because I've been here for 6 days and I've gone around the island twice, to the center twice, and I've talked to the people, I've recorded the people, I've met with the people. I know exactly what you're not reporting, and now I know why you're not reporting on it. It's because you're all sitting here in all these luxury hotels in San Juan with electric, with alcohol, with casinos, and with music, because everybody right now, I don't even know if you hear it, but they're blasting all their little music in here and they're all hanging out, having their drinks, when this relief effort should be something that is 24 hours a day and is nonstop, and it's not happening. That's a fact. That is the fact of what the reality is. They have failed us. They consider us parasites. That's the reality. Maria Mato said it best. We are parasites to the USA, and I can't stand there and let that happen anymore. This is outrageous the way that it's been happening. I'm actually going to be home probably in about 36 hours. My intention is not to go home. My intention is to come back. My name is India Colon. I'm challenging, as a civilian, I'm challenging our state representatives in the state of Delaware, Governor Carney, Senator Coons, Senator Carper, Congressman Lisa Blunt Rochester. I'm challenging each and every one of you to stand up and ask the federal activation order to happen in the state of Delaware to send out the necessary support that we need here in Puerto Rico. USA, you have failed the American people of Puerto Rico. USA, you have failed. CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, you have all failed with the real journalism and the real reporting that should be happening, all afraid to go into the heart of the Puerto Rico. Everybody wants to stay in the metro area of San Juan, where you have Wi-Fi, where you have luxuries and everything else. Leave your comfort zone. If you were a real journalist, you would have left by now. You would have made it to the center of the island. You would have made it to the south, where there is no running water, where there is no food, where the lines are over 9 hours long to get $100 out. Money they shouldn't even be using. They should not even be using their own money to buy stuff. It was declared a disaster zone by President Donald Trump. That should mean something. That should mean you need to get the people out. That should mean you should have had relief efforts there 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks it's taken the president to quote unquote get here into the island of Puerto Rico, and we don't even know if that's going to happen, because the reality is you're going to get here and you're going to see that the heart of the Puerto Ricans has gotten together. They banded together, they cleaned it up themselves, they made things happen on their own, they found a way to keep cooking, they found a way to find water from the natural water resources in the mountains, and they're sharing it. They're taking care of each other. If this place here, if Puerto Rico stands up, it is not because the American USA government had anything to do with it. If they stand up, it's only, and I say it's only because the people of Puerto Rico have banded together to make sure that it happens on their own. Not a single person through the US government and the efforts that I've seen, whatever it is that they're reporting, is minimal. I don't care if you have 3 medevacs that happen. 3% of government has been successful here in the hearts of the American people of Puerto Rico. 3% is nothing. We are at 100% capacity of the people that need efforts here. And you should be working around the clock to make shit happen. This right here, USA, you failed us. Our tax dollars are all sitting here with a bunch of people in all this area here. People are dying. People should be out there with the relief efforts, helping out and making sure that something happens. But no, instead they're sitting in here drinking. They're waiting on orders. Let me tell you, sometimes you have to learn to break the rules. Sometimes you need to just go out there and do it. You don't wait to be told that somebody's life matters. All lives matter. The American people of Puerto Rico, they need you to just walk in one line and say, I'm going to help. Even though I'm being told no, I'm going to help. It shouldn't matter. This isn't about orders. This isn't about who's going to take credit and who made the call to help the American people. No, this is simply about the fact that there are people who are starving, who need water, who need help, who have children who are crying. It has nothing to do with who should take credit for it. The fact of the matter is that people are suffering. People need help. And if you don't know how to bend the rules just a little bit, just to make that help happen, then you shouldn't be called an American, point blank. At the end of the day, if we are the American people here in Puerto Rico, then we shouldn't be waiting 2 weeks to have relief efforts happen, and instead have people sitting here from FEMA and the military and the government and everything else sitting here in a luxury hotel while they relax with their hot meal instead of working around the clock, which is what should be happening. At the end of the day, the American people of the USA, we have failed the American people of Puerto Rico. We have failed the American people of Puerto Rico, and it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable what we've been seeing. This is one of about 20 hotels that has the same thing. They're all booked to capacity. Call any of the hotels in San Juan right now. They are booked to capacity with FEMA, with military and emergency operation government personnel. They're booked to capacity. You know what that means, right? That means that there's people here to help. There's generators, there's food, there's water sitting at a military installation because they can't figure out where the trucks are going to come from or how to get people to drive it there. That's their excuse. They haven't figured it out. You know what? I managed to get to over 32 towns in 6 days and get more to people with my one hand than the entire government has been able to do in an entire 2-week period. That is unacceptable. USA, you have failed the American people of Puerto Rico. If they stand up, it is merely by the hearts and the sweat and the blood of their own hands. You have failed the American people of Puerto Rico. We are not parasites. We are not parasites. We deserve better. We helped every relief effort when they were in crisis, and yet we are left to the bottom. We are a priority. But if this island stands up, it is not by the efforts of anything coming in by the government, because they're all sitting here drinking alcohol instead of working 24 hours a day. It is only by the hands of the Puerto Rican people that they have stood up with these efforts. And at the end of the day, I am sorry, it's not in my character to go live like this, but 6 days of seeing the emotion, 6 days of connecting families, 6 days of, you know, taking out money that has come and been given out because they don't have access to money, and they're buying stuff. You shouldn't be buying stuff. It was declared a disaster zone for a reason. A disaster zone should mean something, America. It means that you get the help to them 14 days later. But let me just say this. You're going to be deceived. You're going to be deceived when you come here, if you decide to travel here. Because when you land here, you're going to see an island that has green again. Because in a week, the trees started to bloom. In a week, the people have cleaned up. In a week, the water where houses were 6 feet under are back to no water. All they've done is remove stuff. They're taking it out. They're removing the trash. So the houses of Puerto Rico are as strong as the people and their hearts. They are strong homes. They're made of cement. They are surviving. But those people who are sitting in there cleaning and doing all of these efforts, at the end of the day, are doing it on their own account. People are going to come here. They're going to visit the island, and this is what they're going to say. President Donald Trump being one of them, him and his staff, if and when they travel to Puerto Rico. Oh, it doesn't look as bad as it was reporting. Newsflash, it took you 2 fucking weeks to get here. 2. Would you think that the water is not going to settle? No, it settles. The people weren't going to sit there and swim around their little house. They're going to make sure that their house got dried up. They were going to make sure that they fed their neighbor that didn't have food. They're going to make sure that the kid who didn't have clothes because it all went under got clothes. The people of Puerto Rico have been the only people standing this place up. I stand firm on that. This is not the first hotel that I stopped at in San Juan, and they all, and I say it again, they have all been under the same position. They work their few hours of the day, they come back to the hotel, wasting the tax dollars, and then they sit here with their little badges and their little cool hats and everything else, and they waste the American people's money, while people are still left starving, dying, and in need. I can't stress that enough. At the end of the day, I'm only one person, you know, and I can only do so much. But I know that the people that I'm helping are going to be okay. And I don't know what the rest of you guys have been doing out there, because I've been in and out of hot spots. I do know that the Puerto Rican people, the American-born people of Puerto Rico, are standing up one day at a time. Every day they've made progress, but it's not by the hand.